With much of this year's free agency class have already signed new contracts with new teams or the same team, today I want to talk about a player we haven't heard much out of pretty much at all since the end of this season. That player is Patrick Kane. Now, I want to just come on here and talk about the fits that where we could see him going into next season, going into the years after if he does sign a multi-year contract. But before we go into it, we got to know that he did undergo off-season hip surgery. He went early June, I believe, so he will be missing likely the beginning of next regular season. So that puts him in no rush to sign a new contract with any new team. So, and all this is all speculation as well. This is nothing, no reports coming from this, no hard evidence, just kind of my opinions of what teams I think he would fit nicely with and potential landing locations of where he will go. But before also, I just want to talk about a little interview that I had with Craig Button and Jay Onrait, saying that Craig Button thought there was no fits for Patrick Kane right now and that he should just focus on recovery from his offseason hip surgery. And while I understand what he's trying to say, but there are fits for Patrick Kane at the moment as well. He said that he should just focus on going under recovery, which I absolutely agree with. There is no doubt that Patrick Kane should just focus on getting recovered and coming back as soon as possible and coming back as better and as good as he can, because he's getting up there in age. He still wants to play in the NHL, and I think he still has a lot left. He's still one of the best names in the NHL and one of the best players in the NHL, frankly. But there are many fits of where I think he could play, and those are the ones I'm going to go over in this video. I have three, and as well as just an honorable mention to start it off here, and that's what I'm going to do. Start it off with the honorable mention, Chicago Blackhawks. Now, obviously, it's where he's been his whole career, and I don't think it's likely that he will go back to Chicago, but after having the first overall pick and selecting Connor Bedard, that has to be somewhat intriguing in Patrick Kane's mind of being able to play with a player who's a generational talent. Patrick Kane once was that player in his rookie years, when he was a lot younger with the Chicago Blackhawks. But I don't think it's very likely. He's probably going to want to go to a team where he can help out to win a Stanley Cup. He's at that point in his career now where he's not looking to go into a rebuild mode. Now, the Chicago Blackhawks, they're not good by any means, but they're not bad. They signed Nick Foligno, Taylor Hall, just guys that are looking Corey Perry just to get some veteran experience and also hit the cap floor. They have 17 million cap space, you can see. They're close on 18. So they would be easily capable of signing Patrick Kane if they want to whatever contract he's looking for at all. They could give it to him. But I don't think Patrick Kane will want to go back, It's obviously something that he holds close to his heart in Chicago, but it's just not the point where he is in his career where he wants to go back into a rebuild to a team that's not very close to a Stanley Cup. So that's why I'm saying it's more of an honorable mention than actually a team that I think he will go to. But we're going to start it off here with the New York Rangers, the first team that I think he could go to. Obviously, that's where he went at the trade deadline last year. Return there would be nice. The team is very, very solid. They added additions like you can see here on their lines, Blake Wheeler, Nick Bonino, Tyler Pitlick. They added those guys in the offseason who I think are there to kind of replace Tarasenko, who we know will not be going back. He'll be either going to a team like Ottawa, Carolina, those teams we've heard. Obviously, he's changed agencies, so we don't really know now that kinds of all restarted. But the Rangers, I think, would be a good landing spot for Patrick Kane again. Obviously, it's not the result they wanted last year, losing in the conference, not the conference finals, the second round to the New Jersey Devils, or no, first round of the New Jersey Devils, sorry. But they're close. You can tell by the roster they had Igor Shesterkin as well as solid defense, and as well as this whole incredible forward core, to be frank. Chris Kreider, Mika Zibanejad, Vincent Trocheck, Artemi Panarin. Blake Wheeler's there. He's not what he once was, but these guys are not making a lot of money. So you can see with the cap, though, they have $6.1 million, close on 6.2, and they need to sign, pending our current RFA, Alexis Lafreniere, who won't be demanding a lot of money. He hasn't really proven a lot yet. So there would be tight on cap if they did want to sign Patrick Kane. But if they wanted to do it, I think they could make it happen. But, the Rangers is obviously one of the fits that I think would be good. But I have some more we're going to be talking about now that I think I would personally like better. And that one is going to be the Dallas Stars. Not my top favorite. We'll see that one at the end. But this is another very good one. They had talks with Patrick Kane, or about Patrick Kane, linked to him before the whole free agency began. And they signed Matt Duchene, who I'm sure they did not think was going to be there after being bought out by the Nashville Predators. You can see here, these are the signings. Matt Duchene, Craig Smith, and Sam Steele, all four signing in free agency on July 1st. Three pretty good players, to add to a team that is very, very good at the moment. They're very, very solid. They beat the Minnesota Wild in the first round, unfortunately, and they looked very good doing it, which I hate to say, but they did. They're a team that's almost there as well, A few more pieces, they'll be there. Jake Ottinger is fantastic in that. He had a few not great games there later in the playoffs, but you could tell that he was willing to be able to play and willing to get these wins for this team. The team as well is very good. If they just had to be able to mix those contracts of Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin out, I think this team would easily be in a Stanley Cup contention sooner than they were now. Those guys still very good players, but they're not worth what their cap hit is at the moment. That's just absolutely too much. But putting Patrick Kane on this team, a very young team too as well, so that veteran experience as well as his skill at the moment and how good he still is, I think is certainly one that is very intriguing for the Dallas Stars to be able to get Patrick Kane. Not sure if it's an option now that Matt Duchene, Craig Smith, Sam Steele, they signed a bunch of forwards this offseason, as well as just what they've had already. But it still would be a very, very good idea if they could get him. Certainly something to look into when he is ready to negotiate contracts, if he's still looking to go somewhere where they're going to win a cup. He's looking to help out and get that. That's Dallas. That's the Dallas Stars. That's the location. That's the team that he'd be looking for. The style of team he should be looking for, I should say, in a cup-ready team. That's what they are. That's what they will be, I would say. We're going to go on to our final team here. I think my personal favorite, the Buffalo Sabres for this one. They have a projected cap hit of $6.7 million, or cap space of $6.7 million heading into this next season. And obviously, they have a lot of stuff locked up. Their lines here are absolutely incredible. You can see getting Tage Thompson, I should say, at a solid contract, and for as good as he was last season, it's incredible. Alex Tuch in the Jack Eichel deal, along with Peyton Krebs. Those two guys have been playing very good. Dylan Cousins, Jeff Skinner, for as big of a contract as he has, he's been playing well last season. He played well last season. He really did. Still not worth $9 million, but you can see him at a 5 or 6. He's showed his worth. He shows that he's good. Victor Olofsson as well. Those lines are incredible. Adding Patrick Kane to that, the hometown boy, bringing him back, I really would like to see it. He would get a pop on his first time on the ice. The crowd would go insane. And Buffalo deserves a good player like him. They've been in the gutter for ages now, and getting a player like Patrick Kane to add the hometown boy to the hometown team, a team who's been on the rise a lot over the last few seasons, particularly last season, nearly making the playoffs with the team they had. They have good goalies in Devin Levi, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. One of those likely to be traded, probably Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen if they do get one, as well as a potential add of a star-studded goalie like Connor Hellebuck, maybe UC Saros if Nashville is into trading him, or even maybe John Gibson. We spoke about him in a few videos ago, maybe getting traded from the Anaheim Ducks if the reports were true. But I think the Buffalo Sabres are a team that are nearly there, and I think would be very interesting to Patrick Kane, and also take a few spots higher due to it being a hometown team. But in addition to Patrick Kane, it would be very, very good for the Buffalo Sabres. That's what they need. They need another goal scorer. They have a lot of size, which is good. They don't have too much, too many short players, too many little Cole Caulfield, Alex DeBrincat size play style players. So that would be good for them if they get Patrick Kane, who is kind of in that category, and that would add to their really good team already, is what I can only describe it as. But I think my favorite would be the Buffalo Sabres. This team would be very nice to see. It's nice to see them be good for once. They haven't had that in a long time. So getting them, Patrick Kane, and seeing them potentially go to the playoffs and see how far they could go with that team, be very intriguing. But let me know in the comments below what you think, where he can end up once he starts negotiations. Obviously, it will not be anytime soon, I wouldn't say. He will take his sweet time, getting the rehab done, getting work put in. Then he'll negotiate his contract when he knows he's ready to come back to the NHL and just be the Patrick Kane that we know, the one that we love. And just let me know where you think he'll go. If you like the video, make sure to give it a like, and also make sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content from me, Nick, and Noah. We have a lot of stuff planned in the offseason, No hockey, but we got some nice ideas. So if you want to see that, make sure to subscribe. That's all I got. Hope you enjoy your night. I'm signing out. Thank you for watching.